Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got Jordan Love just broke the NFL now. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, news broke that Jordan Love got paid 4-year, $220 million, bro. And he deserved every bit of that. You know what I'm saying? It was smart for them to go ahead and pay him now. You know what I'm saying? Especially after Tua just got his contract. Because say if they waited to next year and Jordan Love, you know what I'm saying, had, you know what I'm saying, like the better numbers than he had last year, let's say that. And then that price would have went up, you know what I'm saying? So it was smart for them to do that now, because the QB market is trending into $60 million a year. And now he's getting paid $55 million, which makes him the highest paid QB in NFL history. So I feel like the Packers were smart to jump on that shit immediately after Tua got his contract extension. But let's go ahead and check this out.
Look at Jordan Love's body of work. How could you justify that he's been worth $50 million?
But if that's the case, why hasn't this gotten done yet when they talked about they wanted it done before training camp? And in your opinion, what do you think is actually holding this up from getting done, like right now?
Oh, I think it's going to be a long-term deal. I think that's the issue. I think it could be like Pat Mahomes' deal when he did his long-term, what was it, 8 years?
Oh my gosh, some niggas just do not need to talk about football, bro. Really, like legitimately. Why? That would not be. Fucking gosh. Why the hell would he get Mahomes type deal? Like Mahomes got like 10-year, like $450 million, I believe, when he got his contract extension. Why the hell would Jordan Love get anywhere close to that after just, you know what I'm saying, 1 year of good play? Like, come on now. Like, he deserved the money that he got, but like, come on now, you're just dragging it now. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, I think they want to. I think what they want to do is plan this out so that they can have their cap in place. You understand where you are cap wise for the next 5, 6, 7 years. I think it's going to be a long-term deal.
And it was a long-term deal, 4 years.
Quarterback deals are going on at the moment, and the big name that's floating around right now is Jordan Love.
The Jordan Love situation is interesting.
For Jordan Love, it's a $10.5 million salary this year. He deserves more. The two sides haven't come together yet. I was told yesterday it's more money than structure, but with a deal like this, there's a lot of factors that go into it.
After backing himself and taking a short extension last year, Love put out some intriguing tape in 2023 and is now after a much bigger bag. Right now, the general consensus is that the Packers have no option but to make him the next $50 million plus quarterback. But is that the right thing to do? And in today's video, we're going to go over the pros and the cons of what would happen if the Packers did pay Jordan Love this outrageous amount. So far in the 2024 offseason, Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff have kickstarted the quarterback signing market by getting
bro, like this shit is getting out of hand.
$55 million
it really is. Like, is the QB market ever gonna come back down? I highly doubt it, because the NFL keeps raising the salary cap each and every year. So I highly doubt that, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna get back down to this type of money right here, like the 40 million mark
per year for any quarterback. So
like this is the norm now, especially with the wide receiver market as well. Should turn into $40 million a year.
Who's $53 million a year is more than the likes of Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and of course Patrick Mahomes, who is all the way down at 10. And honestly, I mean,
like, and that Mahomes deal looks so fucking smart now, like, because he was the highest paid quarterback when he first got his deal. Now he's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's the 10th highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now. Wait, hold up. Now that you add Tua and Jordan Love, he's like, bro, this nigga's the 12th highest paid QB now, bro. Like, this shit is crazy.
All the way down at 10. And honestly, I mean, when you look at this leaderboard, it really shows that getting paid isn't really reflective of talent anymore. It's more so who just.
So I'm pretty sure he recorded this video before Jordan Love's contract extension into us
right now, which, as crazy as it sounds, is you either cough up the $50 million or more, which it's going to be after Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, and these other quarterbacks get signed, or you
Dak's gonna get money somewhere else. I feel like
try to sign a guy that really is unknown. Like I said, the teams currently pondering that decision are the Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott, Miami with
bro. You could have showed any other fucking picture, bro.
And of course, the Green Bay Jordan Love.
We go back to the Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones is a billionaire a few times over, but sometimes doesn't seem like a great businessman when it comes to
Facts.
contracts. Certainly,
He's
for-
never been a good
longer you
owner when
wait,
it comes to contracts,
the more it
bro.
costs you.
He always waits
By
way
far
too
the
fucking
least
long.
proven of those guys, but
And,
you could
and like
argue
you
that-
wonder why Dallas doesn't make it to the, you know what I'm saying, the NFC championship game like at least once in the last decade, bro.
worthy. Whereas he doesn't have as much good film on tape, Love certainly doesn't have much baggage as the others. I mean, when we bring in Tua, he struggles in the cold weather, and Dak struggles in the playoffs, which are enough to make that $50 million benchmark appear a daunting figure. I mean, when you have Love, though, just looking at what he did last year in his one season in charge, he was able to lead them to the playoffs with the NFL's youngest roster. And not only that,
Facts.
but he was able to then go on and prove himself on the playoff stage. And yes, I understand that there was a little bit of a rough patch at the beginning of the season, but we're going to break that down, and also just the pros and cons of just kind of understanding why the Packers should lock this guy up. Like, I mean, look, it's clear to
Which
say
they
that
did.
really you have no chance at winning a championship in the NFL if you don't have a strong and just solid quarterback. And with Jordan Love,
Facts.
he gives you that certainty and that chance to go and win a championship. Like, I mean, as crazy as it
Quarterback
sounds,
play is
the NFL
huge,
is
man.
changing, as we all know, and I think the days of kind of trying to win with running the ball and having a really good defense are behind us. And most people or most organizations are looking and ready to pay that $50 million to get their quarterback that they need to win a championship.
You just pay him now. What if you had paid him 2 months ago? You know, because everybody else is getting their money. So Jordan Love is going to make more than Trevor Lawrence. Because he's next up, he's going to make more. And then Tua is waiting. I mean, this is how the game is played. And then Dak is going to be waiting. It's inflation. It's quarterback inflation.
And look, I mean, the Packers right now, they're pretty good in salary cap, and they can stomach the $50 million pain that they're going to have to pay, if not more. But a hefty quarterback contract still is going to make life tricky for them. They have wrestled themselves back to $47 million of cap through the release of David Bakhtiari and linebacker Devondre Campbell.
Wow.
Also
I mean, those were smart. Those were smart moves because, you know what I'm saying, DeAndre Campbell, bro, he's like, you know what I'm saying, at the later stage of his career where he's not really that good. And then David Bakhtiari is barely even healthy anymore, so
Bakhtiari
that was
and Campbell
smart.
were easy cuts to make because of their injuries and poor play, but similar decisions will have to be made next year and the year after as Green Bay gets used to having one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, which that's what Love is rumored to become. And I mean, honestly, the Packers are pretty used to it at this point with having been blessed 2 Hall of Famers before Jordan Love. We can honestly see that they have the young roster around him and they know how to handle it. When we look at the wide receiver room, for example, they took the league by storm last year after taking a quantity over quality approach. The same can be said elsewhere on the roster, emphasized by the fact
I feel like
that
more
the
teams
team made the
should
playoffs
do
and
that too,
destroyed the
man.
Cowboys.
It's not all about having, you know what I'm saying, a true number 1 wide receiver. Like having multiple receivers that can step up and you know what I'm saying, crunch time and shit, that can make plays and take over a game when they need to. Like that, I feel like that's way better than having, you know what I'm saying, a true number 1 receiver like CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson or Tyreek Hill, because, you know what I'm saying, defenses can just zone in on that any one player. But when you have multiple receivers that can make plays like how the Packers have, it's like damn near impossible to stop that, because you're going to have a DB that's going to be on an island with a really good receiver. You know what I'm saying? That DB might suck, like Eli Apple, for instance, bro. So, you know, it's a great,
That's the thing, though. When you have
I'm saying
these
great
young
situation
guys
that the
in other
Packers are in
positions,
right
though,
now.
If they become stars, they're going to need new contracts also. And there's going to be tough decisions that they're going to have to make. Players like TJ Slatton, Josh Myers, and
Nigga
Eric
said
Stokes
Slatton.
will all be looking for new deals at the end of this year. With Jair Alexander, Elton Jenkins, Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and many more all wanting new deals in the years that follow. And look, flat out, the presence of having a large quarterback contract, while being something that you do want, does make managing other big names like this around him much tougher. And I think the craziest thing too, though, is that it's not just the Green Bay Packers that are going to be affected by this contract. If Green Bay gives Love the biggest quarterback contract in the NFL, or at least close to it, that will set a new benchmark for other teams. Goff and Lawrence's contracts have already done that to a certain extent, and Love could take that even further. Dak Prescott was close to winning the MVP award last year, and Tua led the league
No,
in
he
passing
wasn't.
yards. Another big
No, he
deal at the
wasn't,
top of
bro.
the market is
Lamar
only
had
having
49 of the
Cowboys
votes, and Josh Allen
Dolphins
had
front
1.
offices, respectively. I mean, and then you have Brock Purdy.
Dak got
If he
no
turns
votes
out
last
another
year.
good season in San Francisco that ends in a deep playoff run, you can bet that his agent will be be using this upcoming Jordan Love deal as a benchmark. All signs right now point towards Love resetting the market. And I mean, over the last few days, Adam Schefter told ESPN that he expects him to become the highest paid quarterback in NFL history.
Which did happen.
Question, is he really worth it? Jordan Love finally got his opportunity to show what he could do in 2020.
Bro, imagine J Love throw for over 5,000 yards this year.
Best of all time, Aaron Rodgers.
That shit'll be crazy.
Two halves for Love, initially appearing to be an all-time bust before turning it around and putting together some special plays on tape. And I mean, we're going to attack this chronologically just so we can go through his full season last year. Now, to kick things off for Love, it was pretty much a mixed bag. Things were good as he threw for 7 touchdowns and just 1 interception over his first 3 games. And this included a 38-20 win over Chicago in week 1 and a narrow 18-17 win over my New Orleans Saints in week 3, where we blew a 17-point lead.
That,
as well as it also
I don't want to, like, bro, they were up 17-0, I believe, in the fourth quarter, too.
From these games, though, was that Love didn't complete more than 56% of his passes in any of these games.
I mean, he was just still getting used to things, you know?
Week 3 being his worst.
And experience will do that to you.
Surrounding Love's electric start to life in charge of Green Bay's offense, which many debating whether his 6 touchdowns in 2 games meant he was the next big thing or whether he was just getting a bit lucky and things would level out. The later certainly appeared to be the winner at first, as Love struggled over the next 6 games, winning just 1 of them to produce a 3-6 record at the halfway point. Now, while this was indeed Jordan Love's first proper go at starting in the NFL, it's also important to remember that he had been learning behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years and had taken some snaps in both preseason and regular season. So I mean, at this point in the season, it was pretty well deserved of why he was receiving so much criticism from fans and from just analysts around the league up to this part in the season. Like, I mean, straight up, he was wildly inconsistent and struggling with some of the most fundamental aspects of being
Bro, what the fuck?
inconsistent and
I don't remember that happening last year. Damn, that's got to be embarrassing, yo.
His footwork and his accuracy was problematic as a result. He also panicked wildly under pressure, hurling the ball downfield into coverage rather than composing himself and waiting for his 3rd or 4th read to break open, which they often did. He regularly sent the ball deep, but not with accuracy and often not on the right plays either. And then on intermediate plays, his inability to stay composed and read the defense.
Oh, Christian Watson got fucking wrecked.
Easy interceptions way too often. The 6-game stretch between weeks 4 and 10, including the bye week, produced a
Yikes, look at that interception
7 touchdowns
numbers,
to
bro.
9 interceptions and 16 sacks taken. It was a miserable time for Packer fans who had patiently waited to see what their 2020 first-round investment was worth, only to watch it crumble and burn in front of their eyes. He had completed just 59% of his passes and was seemingly not trusted by Michael
face, bro.
And who could blame him? Against Vegas, who were not known for having good pass defense, Love passed for just 182 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Like, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, that play wasn't that long ago either. Like, watching all of that happen, and with the same young roster returning, who's to say that same Jordan Love won't return this year? Like, it's that question mark alone that kind of just scares Packer fans and even the organization into wanting to dump all this money into Jordan Love, even though they most likely will. It's still a scary thought to have. Like, I mean, if that play had continued, we wouldn't even be having this debate right now, and Jordan Love probably wouldn't even be getting a contract. But thankfully for Packer fans, as we all know, that play didn't continue. The Jordan Love that materialized in the second half of the season was completely different. In his defense, you have to remember that this is the youngest roster in the NFL, and it's fair to attribute some of the early issues to a lack of experience across the entire board. November for me is when things began to noticeably improve, though. Love completed 77% of his passes in a 20-3 win against the Rams before embarking on a very impressive 3-game stretch against the Chargers, Lions, and Chiefs not long after. With the season on the line and against
the ending to that Chiefs game was weird as shit, bro.
And the Chiefs,
like,
Love passed for
it was a lot of missed calls, a lot of controversial calls.
Interceptions. The elite play came against Detroit in a primetime game on Thanksgiving, and the 3 touchdowns 1 week later came against an elite Kansas City secondary. It was top-level quarterback play and a complete switch up from what fans were used to. From there, Love led the Packers to win 6 of their last 8 games, scraping out a 9-8 record that was good enough for second in the division and a playoff berth. And as we all know, he then converted this into an epic playoff debut, completing 76% of his passes against Dallas for 272 yards, 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Like, I mean, he absolutely humiliated one of the best defenses in their own building and completely outshone the MVP runner-up.
I did not see that coming, bro.
Day for not only Love,
I thought it was gonna be a good game, but like that shit was the complete opposite.
On the big stage, but Love banished those concerns almost immediately. The Jordan Love that played in the second half of the season was totally different from the one we saw earlier. And now, yes, it is to note that when you are playing with one of the youngest NFL rosters in the league, there are going to be growing pains just throughout the entire year. But I mean, there were countless errors that he was making just himself nonetheless. But as the season progressed, it was kind of crazy just seeing Jordan Love mature throughout the year and just watching him just become more competent and just better under center. His accuracy improved greatly, regularly posting a completion rate of over 65% with 3 games over 70% and 1 game over 80%. This was made possible by his improvements in the pocket, becoming much more nuanced in his movements.
I don't understand how he's able to make throws like this. Like, this literally looks like Aaron Rodgers, bro. Like the off-platform throws, like the back foot throws, the different arm angles and shit.
Drifting ever so slightly away from pressure to buy him.
Like, come on.
His progressions and find
the arm talent is crazy.
He mastered the art of throwing off his back foot just like Favre and Rodgers did, as was shown in all its glory.
Boom, like that. It looks exactly like Aaron Rodgers. Like no glaze.
Change plays and even use fake snaps to bait defenses into revealing their coverage plans.
Like it. Hold on. I know I'm saying talk about this shit too much. But bro, like this looks identical, bro. Like look at the same form and everything. Like you can't say that. You cannot tell me that Jordan Love is not the next Aaron Rodgers.
See his growth in the second half of that season. However, once they did go back to play San Francisco in the divisional round, that's when we saw Jordan Love kind of take a step almost back, or at least back to his old ways from earlier in the season. In that game, Love's completion rate dipped to 62% and his 2 interceptions were very costly, most notably a hopeless heave on the final drive that ended.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
Odds were definitely stacked in the Niners' favor. There was hope for Green Bay before he threw that interception.
Like in the rain too, cross body.
Still a lot to learn for Love, and a reminder that.
But it was his first playoff run, so I'll give him, you know, what I'm saying, a slight pass on that.
Leading quarterback contract. Like, yes, there was plenty of good tape in the second half of the season, but is it still enough to completely forget about the shambles in the early stages of the year? This team is still incredibly young, which means inconsistency and regression are far more likely than with a proven roster. The consequence of sitting your quarterback for so long is that you have to make this commitment without a bigger sample size, and the results could be catastrophic if the wrong Love materializes. However, if he picks up exactly where he left off in 2023, the Packers may well be on their way to enjoying the tenure of a 3rd consecutive Hall of Fame quarterback running their offense. So I mean, perhaps that alone makes this contract an absolute no-brainer. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that the Packers should make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
Well, they already did, so.
I do think that they should, like I was saying in the video, it's just so hard to find a good quarterback once you have them. Like, even if he's
facts, I feel like that's why some QBs are getting paid like the way they are. Like T-Law, Tua,
gets you as crazy as it sounds, $60 million. But honestly, I think the Packers, if they keep him around and this team does kind of shape up to what they want them to be, they could be legit contenders this year and beyond. So let me know in the comment section below. Give me a record prediction for the Packers, or just what you think about Jordan Love and thoughts on him in the entire
shit. Packers may even get the 1 seed. You never know. The NFC is completely wide open. Like, let's be honest, bro. There's no true, like, really. I mean, you could possibly say the Niners, like that's the most dominant team in the NFC, but the NFC is so wide open. There's not really that many great elite teams, bro, because you got the Niners, Eagles, Lions, Packers, like who else after that you can say is a true contender, you know what I'm saying, in the NFC right now. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn on post notifications, notify whenever I drop another banger video. We're on the road to 400 subs. Time to get there for more banger NFL reactions like this. So without further ado, I'm out. Gang.